God, I arrive here at the edge of this night with my breath finally slowing, with the world outside my window easing into its own quiet rhythm. I feel the gentle give of the mattress beneath me, the coolness of the sheets against my skin, the soft weight of the blanket settling like a promise that I am allowed to rest. I speak to you now without rushing, without trying to sound strong or composed. I come exactly as I am, tired in places I cannot name, grateful in ways I don't always express, and ready to let this day loosen its grip on me. I notice the sounds that are fading, the distant hum of traffic, a closing door somewhere, the last murmurs of activity slipping into silence. With every breath out, I feel my shoulders drop a little more. With every breath in, I sense space opening inside my chest. I am not hurrying this moment. I am not asking anything yet. I am simply being here with you, allowing the night to cradle me as it is meant to. I let my thoughts slow to the pace of my breathing. In and out. In and out. I feel my heartbeat steady, no longer chasing the hours of the day. I let the images of what happened today rise gently and pass without grabbing them. Conversations soften at the edges. Tasks lose their sharpness. Even the moments that stirred frustration or sadness begin to blur, like colors dissolving into dusk. I don't push them away. I simply allow them to drift, trusting that I don't have to solve anything right now. In this quiet, I sense your nearness not as something loud or overwhelming, but as a steady calm that has been waiting for me all along. I feel it in the way my jaw unclenches, in the way my hands rest open instead of tight. I feel it in the permission I give myself to stop striving. I don't need to impress you. I don't need to explain myself perfectly. I only need to be honest, and tonight honesty looks like softness. I tell you that this day asked a lot of me. Some moments stretched me thin. Some words stayed with me longer than I wanted. Some feelings lingered in my body even after the situations passed. I acknowledge them now without judgment. I don't replay them to punish myself. I simply notice them and then place them gently down, as if setting a heavy bag on the floor after a long walk. I feel the relief of no longer carrying everything into the night. I thank you for the small mercies that held me together today. The pauses I didn't plan, the kindness I received or gave, the quiet strength that showed up when I needed it. Even in the parts of the day that felt uneven or incomplete, I sensed that I was not alone. That awareness settles me. It steadies me. It allows me to exhale more deeply than before. As the room grows darker, I become aware of the softness of the air, the way the shadows rest instead of threaten. I let my eyes close, not to shut the world out, but to turn my attention inward, where your presence feels close and gentle. I imagine this night as a wide, calm sea, and I am floating without effort, supported without strain. I don't need to swim. I don't need to direct myself. I can simply rest. I offer you this moment, this stillness, this body easing into rest. I give you my awareness, my breath, my willingness to slow all the way down. I am here, and I am safe enough to pause. I allow the night to hold me, and I allow your quiet presence to meet me right here, as the first layer of peace settles softly over me, preparing my heart and mind to go even deeper into rest. As I remain here in the hush of this night, I feel the day continuing to loosen its hold on me, like a tide quietly pulling back from the shore. My breathing grows slower without effort, each inhale gentle, each exhale longer than the last. I sense the warmth of the blanket settling more fully around me, and it feels like an invitation to let go a little further. I stay with you in this unhurried space, aware that nothing is demanding my attention right now except this simple, sacred act of resting in your presence. I allow my mind to wander briefly over the day that has passed, not to analyze or judge, but to acknowledge it honestly. I see moments where I felt capable and moments where I felt unsure. I remember things I said that came out well and others that landed heavier than I intended. I notice where my energy lifted and where it drained away. I don't cling to any of it. I simply let it surface, one memory at a time, and then I gently release it, trusting that tonight is not for fixing but for laying things down. There are feelings that linger in my body, tension in my neck, a dull tiredness behind my eyes, a faint tightness in my chest. I bring these sensations to you without fear. I imagine them softening as I breathe, as if warmth is slowly spreading through me, loosening what has been held too tightly. I don't rush this process. I give myself permission to feel tired, to feel human, to feel the need for rest without apology. I notice how quiet feels different at night. It is not empty. It is full in a gentle way. The silence wraps around me, and instead of making me restless, it steadies me. In this quiet, I sense you listening without interruption. I don't have to organize my thoughts or choose perfect words. I can speak from the simple truth of my heart. I tell you that I am ready to stop carrying today with me. I am ready to let it end. I think of the moments that stirred worry or regret, the ones that replayed themselves earlier when I tried to settle. I take them now, one by one, and imagine placing them into your hands. I don't revisit the details. I don't argue with myself about what I should have done differently. I just hand them over, trusting that they are safer with you than they are in my thoughts. With each release, I feel a subtle lightness, as if space is opening inside me for rest to move in. I let go of expectations I placed on myself today. The need to be productive, the need to respond perfectly, the need to keep everything under control. I recognize how heavy those expectations can be, especially when the day is done and my body is asking for stillness. Tonight, I choose to set them aside. I remind myself that rest is not a reward I have to earn. It is a gift I am allowed to receive. As my muscles soften, I feel my face relax, my brow smooth, my tongue rest easily in my mouth. Even my thoughts seem to slow their pace, like footsteps becoming quieter as they move farther away. I sense a gentle boundary forming around this moment, protecting it from intrusion. Nothing from today needs to follow me here. Nothing from tomorrow needs my attention yet. There is only this breath, this quiet, this awareness of being held. I acknowledge the emotions that surfaced today. Joy that surprised me. Disappointment that lingered. Frustration that flared and faded. I don't push any of them away. I simply let them pass through me now, like clouds drifting across a darkening sky. I trust that feelings do not need to be resolved in order for me to rest. They can settle in their own time. For now, I allow calm to take the lead. In this slowing, I feel a deeper sense of your presence, steady and unhurried. It feels like standing near a quiet fire, warm without burning, comforting without words. I let myself stay here, breathing, releasing, softening. I feel the night drawing me inward, away from effort and into ease, and as this layer of the day gently dissolves, I rest a little deeper, ready to continue letting go, as the quiet carries me further into peace. As the night settles more firmly around me, I feel myself turning inward in a quieter way, aware of the tender places in my heart that often stay busy during the day. In this softened state, memories surface not as sharp images, but as gentle impressions. Moments where words mattered, where silence mattered, where I may have missed something or held on too tightly. I don't feel overwhelmed by them tonight. Instead, they arrive slowly, and I meet them with the same calm breath that is guiding me toward rest. I bring to you the interactions that still echo faintly inside me. I think of faces, tones of voice, pauses that felt awkward or unresolved. I notice where I felt misunderstood and where I may have misunderstood others, There is no urgency in this reflection. I am not rehearsing arguments or rewriting conversations. I am simply acknowledging that I am human and that my heart carries impressions long after moments pass. In this quiet, I allow myself to feel any regret that lingers without letting it harden into self-judgment. I recognize that regret can be a sign of care, not failure. I let it soften in your presence. I tell you that if I caused harm today, whether intentionally or not, I am sorry. I don't dramatize it. I don't minimize it. I place it gently before you, trusting that honesty is enough for this moment. I also notice where I felt hurt, where something said or done brushed against a sensitive place in me. I feel the temptation to replay those moments, to protect myself by holding on. Tonight I choose a different posture. I acknowledge the hurt without feeding it. I imagine it loosening its grip, like a knot slowly easing under warm water. I don't force forgiveness. I simply open the door to it, trusting that it can grow quietly while I rest. I speak forgiveness in small, honest pieces. I forgive where I am ready, and where I am not, I ask for gentleness instead of pressure. I trust that forgiveness is not a single act, but a gradual softening. I feel relief in not having to finish this work tonight. I can begin it, and that is enough. The rest can unfold in its own time, carried by grace rather than effort. I turn this same compassion toward myself. I notice how easily I hold my own mistakes closer than anyone else's. I acknowledge the ways I pushed myself today, the moments I expected more than I could reasonably give. I let myself be seen here without defenses. I tell you that I forgive myself for being tired, for being imperfect, for not having every answer. I feel something inside me ease as I allow this kindness to land. As I breathe, I sense my chest opening slightly, as if space is being made for something lighter. My shoulders rest more fully against the bed. My hands feel warm and heavy, no longer clenched. The act of forgiving others and myself feels less like a task and more like a quiet release, a laying down of burdens I no longer need to carry into sleep. I imagine the night air itself carrying away what no longer serves me. Thoughts drift past and dissolve before they can take shape. The darkness feels gentle now, not empty or uncertain, but full of rest. I sense that nothing is being demanded of me. There is no scorekeeping here, only presence, only acceptance. I let my breath slow even more, feeling it move deep into my body and back out again, steady and calm. With each exhale, I feel space opening where tension once lived. I feel a subtle warmth spreading, like a quiet reassurance that I am held even in my unfinishedness. I trust that you see the whole of me, not just the moments I analyze or regret. In this stillness, I allow forgiveness to settle like a soft layer over my heart. It doesn't erase memory, but it removes the sting. It doesn't require words, only willingness. I rest in that willingness now, letting it cradle me as sleep draws closer. I feel lighter than before, calmer, less crowded inside. As my thoughts grow slower and more distant, I remain here with you, breathing, releasing, forgiving. The night feels deeper, quieter, more spacious. I allow myself to sink into that depth, knowing that this gentle work of the heart can continue even as I sleep, carried by peace rather than effort. In this deeper quiet, as my body grows heavier and my thoughts soften around the edges, I begin to notice the places within me that feel worn or tender in a different way. Not emotional weight now, but the subtle fatigue that lives in muscles, in joints, in the slow ache of having carried myself through another day. I bring my attention gently to my body, not with criticism or urgency, but with care. I recognize it as a companion that has done its best, and tonight, it is asking to be tended. I feel the rhythm of my breathing moving through me like a calm tide. As it rises and falls, I imagine warmth spreading from the center of my chest outward, reaching my shoulders, my arms, my hands. I notice how my fingers rest, slightly curled, relaxed. I let my jaw loosen. My tongue rest easily, my eyes sink comfortably behind closed lids. I don't try to change anything forcefully. I simply allow ease to arrive where it can. I speak to you about the places that feel sore or strained, whether from physical effort or quiet stress. I name them silently or aloud, without fear. I imagine your presence moving through me like a gentle current, not rushing, not overwhelming, just steady and kind. Where there is tightness, I invite softness. Where there is discomfort, I invite relief. I trust that healing does not have to be dramatic to be real. I sense how tiredness has layers. There is the obvious kind that comes from activity, and then there is the deeper kind that comes from holding emotions, from staying alert, from being needed. Tonight, I let both kinds rest. I give myself permission to stop being vigilant. I do not need to monitor the world while I sleep. I do not need to stay braced. I allow my nervous system to settle, to recognize that this moment is safe. I bring to you any quiet anxiety that lives beneath the surface. Concerns about health, about strength, about whether my body will hold up tomorrow. I don't argue with these worries. I simply set them down. I remind myself that this body has been sustained through many nights before, and that rest itself is a form of healing. As your word gently suggests, there is peace available when trust replaces striving, and I lean into that promise now without reciting it, without effort. I imagine my breath reaching places my awareness usually skips, the lower back, the hips, the legs growing heavy against the mattress. I feel gravity working in my favor, pulling me gently downward, anchoring me. There is nothing to hold up anymore. The bed supports me fully. I allow myself to sink into that support, feeling how good it is not to resist. I notice my heartbeat, steady and unhurried. I let it remind me that life continues quietly even when I rest. I don't have to manage it. I don't have to direct it. It knows what to do. This realization brings a surprising comfort. So much within me is already being taken care of without my constant attention. I speak healing over the parts of me that feel invisible. The internal systems, the cells working silently, the places I don't think about unless something feels wrong. I trust that rest allows them space to repair, to renew. I imagine my sleep as a gentle workshop where restoration happens without noise or pressure. I don't need to watch it. I can simply allow it. Emotionally, I notice a tenderness settling in, a sense of being cared for rather than responsible. I let myself receive that feeling. I don't deflect it or question it. I accept that I am allowed to be held, allowed to be restored, allowed to pause completely. This acceptance feels like another layer of tension releasing, deeper than the last. As the night grows quieter, I feel less aware of the boundaries of my body and more aware of a general sense of ease. My breathing is slow now, almost effortless. Thoughts drift in and out without forming stories. I stay with this calm awareness, trusting that healing does not require my supervision. I remain here with you, resting in the sense that I am being tended to in ways I cannot see. The darkness feels gentle, like a soft cover drawn up around me. I allow this healing quiet to deepen, knowing that my body and spirit can continue to receive what they need as sleep draws me further in. Tonight, as the hours deepen and the world outside slips entirely into stillness, I feel the last threads of the day's tension drifting away. My body feels heavier in the most comforting way, as if gravity itself is cradling me, holding me close, so that I no longer have to carry anything. I feel the softness of the sheets against my skin, the warmth of the blankets like a gentle hug, and the quiet darkness that surrounds me feels like a tender, protective presence. Every inch of me is invited to rest. I sense my breath moving on its own, slow, steady, effortless. Each inhale draws in calm. Each exhale lets go of what no longer serves me. I feel my chest rising and falling with a quiet rhythm that is mine alone, a heartbeat that does not need to be hurried or measured by the day that has passed. In this rhythm, I feel your nearness, silent, unwavering, close in a way that does not demand anything from me, yet holds me completely. Thoughts that once tugged at me lightly fade into shadows at the edges of awareness. Images of the day no longer press for attention. They simply pass like clouds moving across a soft night sky. I allow them to drift freely, knowing that they are held in your care. There is no need to follow them, no need to fix anything tonight. I am learning to trust that rest itself is enough, that surrender is its own form of strength, and that in this stillness, I am safe. I feel a gentle warmth spreading from the center of my being outward, relaxing muscles, softening tension, quieting any remaining edge of worry. My hands rest easily, my feet heavy, my shoulders no longer carrying the invisible weight of responsibility. Even my mind, usually restless, feels like it is floating in a calm, unbroken sea. I imagine every cell in my body breathing with this peace, drinking in this stillness, letting restoration take over without interruption. I speak softly to you now, not asking, not striving, but simply acknowledging the sacredness of this night. I am grateful for the chance to rest, for the quiet to sink into, for the gentle darkness that seems to fold me into your care. I release everything I cannot hold, everything I cannot control, everything I have tried to carry alone. I give it to you fully, knowing that I am enveloped in a presence that does not falter, does not tire, and does not abandon. I feel a profound sense of being completely protected, not through vigilance or effort, but simply through presence. My body, my mind, my home, my heart, the people I love, all rest in this protective calm. There is a subtle reassurance that runs through me, a knowing that nothing can penetrate the sanctuary of this night while I surrender to it fully. I sense a quiet peace settling deeper with each breath, a safety that is not conditional, a stillness that is unshakable. In this space, I allow myself to drift further, noticing that thoughts, worries, and tensions have lost their weight. They are distant now, like leaves floating down a slow stream. I do not need to chase them. I do not need to understand them. I am only here, only present to this quiet, this gentle darkness, this heartbeat of your love. The night itself becomes a companion, a soft, endless rhythm that carries me inward, downward, deeper into rest. I feel the final layers of wakefulness peeling away, leaving behind only the soft awareness of breath, the quiet sense of body against mattress, the gentle temperature of the room, the tender calm that surrounds me. I am no longer clinging to the day or preparing for tomorrow. I am simply here, floating in your presence, suspended between consciousness and sleep, held completely and without condition. And as I let go of the last threads of thought, as my body and spirit sink fully into this protective, restorative quiet, I feel the edges of sleep brushing against me. There is no effort, no tension, only the deep, unshakable sense of peace, of safety, of being fully known and fully loved. I drift, slowly and securely, into the night, carried gently by the stillness and warmth that surrounds me, and I rest completely, finally, and entirely. In Jesus' name, amen.